Assalamualaikum and good morning. For today's, we will debate on one issue whether there is facing conflict of interest or not. Without wasting our time, we can start the debate today by introducing all the participants in this debate hall. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Hazwan Haziq. As the head of government side for today's debate,
My name is Ahmad Syukri bin Shamsul Kamar, and I'm agreed that this debate has conflict of interest.
And my name is Mohamad Aidi Rafizi. As leader of opposition side,
And I am Akmal, and I am against the government.
without wasting our time, we will start our debate. Because I emphasize ethic principle in the work environment, then it is natural for me to highlight that David had faced a serious conflict of interest due to his decisions. Before that, I would like to greet a thank you and Assalamualaikum to my line of supporters and also to the opposition side for today's debate.
Waalaikumsalam.
As the leader for the affirmative side, I will come up with the proposal which is important enough for us to debate. There is whether David is in conflict of interest or not. Gentlemen, we are on the side of supporter that ethical principles in the workplace are important to achieve a successful company. Okay, moving to the first step, I want to start the reading of this debate by defining what is conflict of interest from phrase to phrase. According to Cambridge Dictionary, conflict of interest can be defined as a situation when someone has interests that contradict into his or her responsibilities. Okay, we can take an example, such as when a police officer who is responsible to keep a peace of the country acting to take the bribe from the criminals because for his own benefit. What I want to highlight in this case is David had created a serious conflict of interest by accepting the supplier gift. He cannot make a fair decision because he worries that if he rejects the offer, his chance to travel abroad will be lost. Even though David not a person that negotiates the contract directly to the supplier, he as a chief engineer and also head of a specification committee should be responsible to evaluate the efficiency of the purchases. Because of his error judgment can lead an impact of his reputation and career. Okay, moving to the next point. Under what condition would it be acceptable for David to accept such a gift? Alright, first and foremost, I would like to state the difference between the gift and the bribe. Gentlemen, gift is defined as a small reward offered in the business, basically to show the sign of gratitude. And usually, gift is occur at an open situation and held after the deal had happened. And in other hand, contrary to the term of the gift, bribe are the huge amount of money offered to the client in order to winning an advantage or keeping the contract. The difference between the gift is bribe happen before the deal and happen in the secret situation. According to the case, David had accepted the present from the company ABC before the order received into the hands of his company. Even though the gift from the supplier company seems like they want to give a gratitude towards David, but at first place, David should know how the element of bribe works and why only David alone that received the gift. David had raised a big issue as he acting to accept a gift from the company ABC without being known by his company. The behavior is known as the safe dealing and it is a factor in the occurrence of the conflict of interest. According to the Act of Company 2006, the responsibility for a conflict of interest is rests for each individual, and failure to comply with this regulation is considered as a criminal action. This is why we on the side for today's debate want to state the sentence to the debit is justified. In order to ensure the success of company, ethic and legal value must be adhered by all employees. And what David had done completely contradictory and should be avoided. With that, I would like to end my speech with a million thanks for the opportunity to allow me to testify in this debate. Thank you. Any question? If you would like to ask?
What?
I have.
Yeah.
May I?
Alright, sure.
Alright. Right. Okay. Before I start, yeah. My opposition side have a good point of your view. Alright. Okay. My first question is, do you think when the company ABC give the David's a vacation package to the Thailand, do you think is involved any corruption?
That is why I say during my speech, David must justify either it is a bribe or gift from the company ABC, right? David should he should know how the element of bribes works and at what condition he can accept the gift. Do you
Right.
agree?
Yeah, I agree. But this my question. My second question is, okay, do you think that the vacation is already is in the company ABC cash money flow in and out? So from my point of view, there is no correction of giving David something vacation package. Yeah.
I think we are short of time. Now we can move to the opposition side to give his statement.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hazwan. Before I start, I would like to greet to all of you. Assalamualaikum. And I would like to take this opportunity to thanks to our honorable judges, to my line of supporters and opposition side of my debate today. As the leader of opposition side, I will come up with proposal which is important enough for us to debate. There is whether David have a conflict of interest or not. From the timeline, we can see that the purchasing department arranged all the purchases. David did not feel that he had any conflict of interest accepting companies A, B, C's generosity. Why should one have conflict of interest when someone give a precious gift, right? Anybody
No.
in this world would take that offer as his company is dealing with the ABC company.
No, I will not.
Excuse me? We are from opposition side believe that David did is a thing that human being will do, and there is no element of corruption because the company ABC, represented by the sales agents, offer him and his wife to go to vacation, which is fully sponsored by that company. As we know, David and his wife were invited to join them at Thailand. Hence, there will no corruption issues as the vacation is paid by the ABC company because they will be in the company cash flow summary of the company itself. So, and ladies and gentlemen, in this case, we can see lack of professionalism at the management department. David George Scope as a chief manager usually just ordered his department staff to handle the job. he will have several staff under him to manage his department tasks. When the corporation president astounded at the vacation news, he agreed that David should have no further dealings, and then he assigned the task of dealing with the company ABC, which is assistant, right? So, poor David, he's being set down from the technical info. He being set down from the specification committee, and his assistant replaced him. All right, there is something is not right here. Okay, according to federal constitution, Article 135, Clause 3, without the concurrence of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, be dismissed or reduced in rank or suffer any disciplinary measure for anything done or omitted by him in the exercise of judicial function conferred on him by law. So David is being treated badly by stepping down his position by his boss. Hence, the company is just deals with different people, but from the same company. So what's the issue? What's wrong with that? We, from the opposition side, agree that David should not be replaced as a chief engineer, as they may have a personal issue towards the action took by the president of the corporation. So, who else can fight for David's right? All right. With that, I thank you. Yeah, sure. Hazwan, Hazwan, yeah. Q&A question.
On the statement that Aidi given, you mentioned that it is natural for human being to receive a gift from someone else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, why not David alone go directly to solve the problem with the company ABC? Surely he had a close relationship with them, right? David facing a conflict of interest because he doesn't want to break a relationship with them. Can you explain that?
Okay, all right. David already got a gift from that company, right? First.
Okay.
Then, in my thought of view, David maybe like feeling awkward towards the company ABC, and that's why he deal with the president of the corporation to stop dealing with to that company. So that's why. But the things that I want to question now, why David is stepped down when the boss already know that he's feeling awkward towards that company. So it's just, yeah, it's not right to do that.
So
but that's not the point that we argue just now. We argue about the conflict of interest, not about why he stepped down from the company.
Yes, but it's David's right. The
case.
Yes.
Okay. Clearly, we can see that David does not show the professionalism in his work, right? Because he is the chief of engineer. He should be responsible for everything that he has done.
He should be known.
Okay, let's proceed. Can we?
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Syukri, Aidi and Hazwan. Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to the honorable judge, my line of supporters, and also the government side. Ladies and gentlemen, we strongly disagree with the definition given by the affirmative team. Conflict of interest is a general term that it could not only be used in a situation when someone's interest is contradicting to his or her responsibilities. In an example, we must relate the interest of someone with a hard situation that he or she is facing when deciding. The first speaker from the opposition team has tried to justify that David had created serious conflict of interest by accepting the supplier's present. Thus, he cannot make a fair decision, worrying that if he rejects the offer, his chance to travel abroad will be lost. However, we strongly believe that it is not so. This is because in business, it is very important for a company to maintain a good relationship and connection with another. So through this, it is through individuals. Without the point where a police officer who is responsible to keep the peace of the country acting to take bribes, that you said, as well from the criminals for his own
Okay.
benefit. A police officer may or may not take bribe from the criminals, but due to his or her empathy towards them, it's not that easy to decide whether to proceed with the consequences. We as a human, we have a heart and each of us has different perspective. Now to my point, it is not a big issue for David to accept a gift from the company ABC. This is because some multinational companies operating in countries believe that gift giving is an important cultural tradition and instrumental in building professional relationships. So I made a research and according to the schools.com, which they offer practical real life tips, inspiration for business ethics, thus receiving many awards, said that it is best to show generosity by giving gifts to business connections while following proper ethics. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Okay, we can move to Ahmad Syukri.
Okay, thank you to the judges, lecturer, my lamb of supporters and affirmative side of my debate. As the last person from the opposition party, once again I want to highlight our stand which totally disagrees with the affirmative because David is totally have a conflict of interest when he accepted a gift from the company he is dealing with. From the timeline, David has accepted the gift from the ABC company. For me, it is not necessary and a wrong step by David when he took the gift. I really against the statement from the affirmative side that said David does not feel that he had any conflict in accepting a gift from the overseas company. It is in his personal interest to purchase the new manufacturing equipment in that probably get him a best gift that he ever had. One way to avoid the gift and conflict of interest problem altogether for David is anyone in a similar situation is to simply refuse any gift from the business partner. In this case, we can see David take the gift as his personal interest. David was in trouble because he got a gift from overseas company to go for a holiday with his wife in Thailand. Without getting into the detail of overseas company, accepting the gift does not seem like a huge transgression, especially for someone whose job pays well. In other words, David going to be blown away by the generosity or become dependent on it. David also should ask the company he is dealing with if is there a conflict of interest or the appearance of conflict that arises because of the gifts. The rules against self-dealing and the upholding of fiduciary duties are some of the more fundamental aspects of company law. The sole purpose of this principle is to uphold the golden rule that the interests of the company must be protected. Under Malaysian company law, the rule against self-dealing is deal with under Section 228 of the Companies Act 2006. 16 with its predecessor, provision being found in Section 132E of the Old Companies Act 1965. As the conclusion, refusing to accept any gift from business associate is a reasonable way of dealing with the ethical dilemma of conflicting interests by cutting the problem of the root by eliminating not only conflict but the appearance of them. So we can go forward with the confidence that our workers promise to represent the organization faithfully is uncorrupted by the strategic generosity of others. That's all from me and thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ahmad Syukri. I think that's all for our debate session for today. And what I can conclude that we on the government side strongly believe that David is totally in conflict of interest. And meanwhile,
Yes.
for the opposition side, what I can conclude is David does not in conflict of interest due to it is natural for a very big company to accept a gift or reward from others company to ensure their good relationship, right? That's what you
Yes.
mentioned. Okay, I think that's all
That's
from us.
all from us. Okay,
We can
thank
end
you.
the debate today with thank you and assalamualaikum.
Thank you.
Thank
Assalamualaikum.
you and assalamualaikum.